we can support every system in your body with essential oils. And the thing that I love, this is very similar to herbal medicine, except for essential oils are more concentrated, is that we are getting the synergistic effects of those plant compounds. So when we take a whole plant and we extract it down into an essential oil, we have all the different constituents of plants. So we have terpenes, we have limonene, we have all different types of components that make up that plant. And the cool thing is that they are doing different things in the body. Have you wondered if you can use essential oils in your pets, in your dogs, your cats? Maybe they're on an anti-inflammatory medication like Medicam, Carprofen, and you're like, I just don't like using these things, or using certain drugs, or maybe your pet has cancer and you're wondering, what can I use topically, or what can I use to help my pet thrive and feel better and with less side effects? So if you've been looking down that road of essential oils and maybe you're just too scared to try them because you've heard of cats getting really sick, toxicity, pets having side effects and adverse reactions. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So make sure you watch this entire video, because we're going to go through what essential oils are, how you can use them safely. And I got a little stockpile of essential oils right next to me. We're going to talk about some of the uses of certain types of essential oils so that you can help your pets. You can use them safely for your dogs and your cats and get them hopefully off some of the drugs, or lower the amount of drugs that you have to give your pet. Now we can use them together, which is really cool. So stay tuned for that. Comment below with your questions and let's get going. So I'm Dr. Kayte Woodley, the natural pet doctor. I'm a holistic veterinarian. If you're following me, make sure you follow us on Instagram, social media, YouTube. Go to thenaturalpetdoctor.com, sign up for our weekly webinars. We create lots of content to help you as an amazing pet parent help your pets thrive naturally for a long time. That's the goal. Quality of care and using things that we can integrate in with conventional medicine to help your pets. So I'm really excited about essential oils. It's a hot topic in pets and a lot of people are afraid to use them. However, they're a really great natural way to help your pet's overall health. So what exactly is an essential oil? So essentially, essential oils are aromatic volatile compounds that come from plants. So they're concentrated plant compounds. So that's why they can cause a lot of side effects. This is where a lot of people run into problems because they're using too much of it. That's the biggest thing. We like giving a lot of things, right? We're like, that's working, let's give more. And that's usually how conventional medicine works, right? It's not working, let's increase the dosage. Let's add more. So we're used to that as a society. However, with essential oils, this is not the case because it is so concentrated that if we start increasing the dosages and our pets aren't used to it, or if we're using adulterated essential oils, so not therapeutic grade, not organic, they might have synthetic components added to them, that's where we run into trouble, especially with our cats. So dogs tend to not be as sensitive as cats. And the reason why is that cats, they lack certain detox pathways, certain detox enzymes. And so they can't metabolize certain types of essential oils as well as dogs do. And that doesn't mean that dogs can't run into trouble. And there's sometimes essential oils will cause like a local tissue reaction and cause inflammation. So that's why we need to start with less. Less is more. I want to pound that into every single person watching this. When you're using essential oils, less is always going to be more. So we don't want to just start with here, let's drench our pet in essential oils. So how do we know? Let's start with, how do we know if we're using the right brands? Because if you're here live with us, I want you to comment with what brands you're currently using, if you have essential oils or brands that you know about, because there's 2 million different brands and a lot of them ain't no good. That's just a fact. And that's why we see so many side effects where pets feel sick. They can have seizures. They can feel lethargic, drowsy, vomiting, diarrhea, skin irritations. There's all sorts of things that can happen with essential oils. So if you're with us, comment what brands you're using, and I may not know them, but we're going to talk about different brands. So someone already commented doTERRA. doTERRA is a great brand. Young Living, that's the brand I'm going to show you. It's a brand I use all the time. I've been using it for years and years. And we have Animal EO. Those are typically like my 3 main go-to ones. And there's other ones that are really, really good too. So we're going to go through, how do you assess whether or not these companies are good? So first of all, we want to see that these aren't adulterated essential oils. What does that mean? So if it's an essential oil is adulterated, that means there's stuff that's added to it. So we have to remember that essential oils are a big part of the perfume industry. So they want things to smell good. However, they want things to smell good the cheapest way possible. So lavender, one of the most commonly used essential oils in the world with people, with pets. It is one of the most commonly adulterated synthetic essential oils. So a lot of those essential oils, lavender, they're actually not truly lavender. It doesn't come from the actual plant. It's synthetically made. So there's chemicals in there. That's where we run into problems when we're using these on our pets, especially cats. So you may have heard the myth, lavender's toxic to cats. It's a myth. That's not a fact. When we use the actual therapeutic grade plant lavender that comes from the plant and is not adulterated, your cat will be just fine. If you're using the right dosage, you're using the right companies, that's key. So there's a lot of different components that come into essential oils. So we want to make sure that the company is doing testing on their products. How are they extracting that essential oil from the plant? Are there chemicals that are in that plant? Is there bacterial contamination? Is there fungal contamination? Are those things that are extracting the plant still there? How are they extracting the plant? So we want to know that those essential oil compounds, that volatile aromatic compound, it is as pure and as concentrated as possible. So that's a lot of times it takes millions of pounds of these plants to make one bottle. Sometimes like rose essential oil takes a lot of plant material. And that's why you'll see some of the costs for some of these essential oils are really high. And it doesn't always mean more costly means better, but usually with essential oils, especially with these companies that are using the appropriate therapeutic grade essential oils for their products that they're selling, the cost is going to be more. And that's because they're doing it right. They're testing their product. They're making sure, like they're using organic also. Organic is always going to usually be more expensive. But the amount of like crop, the amount of plants that it takes to create one bottle of essential oil can be ginormous, can be huge. And that's where the cost comes in. So if you're seeing like lavender tends to be a little bit cheaper in general, but if you're seeing like frankincense, I love frankincense. I love using frankincense for dogs, for cats, cancer, anti-inflammatory, anxiety. It's very grounding and has anti-inflammatory properties to it. If you see frankincense being sold for $10 a bottle, like run. That is not pure frankincense. Frankincense is expensive. Same with like rose essential oil. If rose is like $5, that is not true rose essential oil that has come from the rose plant. I guarantee it. So we do have to look at price also and assess like, okay, what is this company doing? Go to the company's website, ask them or try to find that information about what's in these plants. Have they done the testing? Yes, some companies aren't going to tell you everything because they don't want companies to like take their data and take everything and then mimic them. So there are some kind of roadblocks in the way for assessing that. So we need to be using therapeutic grade, non-adulterated, ideally organic essential oil. We don't want to be using essential oils that aren't organic because think about when these crops, these plants are sprayed with Roundup, other pesticides, and then we're taking that and we're concentrating it down. We're extracting those plant compounds to make this essential oil. guess what we have? Now we have concentrated Roundup that we are either putting on our body, that we're diffusing into the air. Not a good thing. So we need to be using quality essential oils. So like I mentioned, Animal EO by Dr. Melissa Shelton, safe. Young Living, I've been using it for years around my cats. I've never had an issue with them, and I love their product. I use it for myself, for my cats, and then we also have doTERRA is another big one. And I know a lot of pet parents, animal lovers, and they use it all the time, and I feel safe recommending those products when we use them appropriately. So why would we use essential oils? Okay, right? Why would we use drugs? Why would we use food as therapy? Same reasons why. The thing that I love about essential oils is that we can bring like nature and natural remedies into our pets' lives. So we're getting multiple effects. So we're not just treating inflammation, but we're also treating the mental aspect, the emotional aspect of your pet. Who here has ever used essential oils and you're just like diffusing it? And maybe you're diffusing it because you have a headache, or you're diffusing it for air quality control. We have major forest fire going on right here near Fort Collins that is not good. And so much smoke is in the air. So diffusing essential oils to cleanse the air, to help me detox, to help my pets detox, to help us stay healthier, help lung function. But when you do it, I know when I'm using essential oils, I'm like, oh, it's so nice. Like I feel better. Who else feels that way when you're using essential oils? So we're getting all these different aspects. Not only are we getting the medicinal properties, but we're also healing and treating that emotional, spiritual side, which is a big part for our pets. Right now it's crazy. If you're watching this live, you know we're in the middle of a pandemic, which is crazy, and everyone's stressed. There's a lot of stress in the world. There's a lot of stress in our environments, and our pets are feeling it too. And their routines have changed. The routines are different, and they get really stressed. They pick up on stress. Maybe you have a cat that started peeing outside the litter box. That's probably a sign of stress. Maybe the routine has changed. Your work schedule has changed. We can use essential oils for all of this. That's what I love. So we can use essential oils for the emotional aspect, for anxiety. We can use essential oils for antibacterial properties, antiviral, cancer treatment, cancer help, reducing inflammation. There's so many uses. Allergies. We can use this in foot soaks for your itchy pets. We can use it for ear infections. We can use it for, let's see, what else do we have? Kidney disease. We can support every system in your body with essential oils. And the thing that I love, this is very similar to herbal medicine, except for essential oils are more concentrated, is that we are getting the synergistic effects of those plant compounds. So when we take a whole plant and we extract it down into an essential oil, we have all the different constituents of plants. So we have terpenes, we have limonene, we have all different types of components that make up that plant. And the cool thing is that they are doing different things in the body. So we can get an essential oil, let's say, let's see what I have here. Let's do lemongrass. So lemongrass. So I have lemongrass sitting here. And the cool thing is we might use it for insect repellent, but lemongrass is an anti-inflammatory. So it helps with inflammation. So we're repelling bugs, we're doing inflammation. There's a lot of other uses for lemongrass also, but we're achieving multiple results through one plant. We don't get that with conventional medicine. Conventional medicine uses a drug that blocks certain pathways, maybe a receptor, and there's not a synergistic effect of that drug to reduce side effects. That's why we commonly see side effects when we're using conventional medicine. But when we're using natural remedies like essential oils, herbal medicine, we're actually taking that entire plant and all the amazing properties of that plant, and they're working together synergistically to achieve the result that we're hoping to achieve. That is the cool thing about what I do and why I love holistic medicine and herbal medicine and these natural remedies so much. And the cool thing is you can integrate it in with conventional medicine. That's what I love also. Maybe your pet's still painful if they're on carprofen. So we can add in other essential oils. So let's talk about now what essential oils you want to potentially avoid with your dogs and cats. Okay, so I mentioned cats are super sensitive. So how do we start? Let's talk about first, how do you start using essential oils? Diffusion. Get a diffuser, a water diffuser, and add 1 drop of some of these remedies that we're going to talk about into that water diffuser. Diffuse it in an open room. This means that your dog and your cat can come and go as they please. They can leave that room or they can stick around. When we had Finn, our German Shepherd, he would sit by the diffuser and he'd like sniff it. He was like, this is so good. He would actually sniff it, which was fantastic. And so that's what I love about it. He could move, he could leave. And if you're noticing, you always want to watch your pet for the first 5 to 10 minutes and watch for side effects. So drooling, squinting eyes, vomiting, really lethargic. If you're seeing any of those within 5 to 10 minutes of starting that diffuser, turn off the diffuser, open the windows, start airing out the place, and get your pet outside. Now, if you have a cat, take them into another part of the house. I don't recommend, unless they're on like a leash or contained, taking them outside if they're not used to it. We don't want them escaping. That would be awful. But those are the things that you want to watch for. But start with diffusing. Don't jump to using internal. Don't put like the essential oils in your pet's drinking water yet. Like there are times and places that we use that. And that's where I talk with my pet parents. So when I formulate customized individual treatment plans for that pet, that's where I look at, okay, what are we doing? What essential oils are we using? And what's going to be best for them? And I see your questions, so keep posting them, and I'm going to answer them at the end. So keep posting them, and I'll flip back through and make sure I answer that. And some of the questions you guys are asking, I'm going to answer in the next thing. So don't worry, I see them, so keep posting. So when we're diffusing, okay, so first step, okay, some of the things that we want to avoid to keep our pets safe if we're using essential oils, we want to avoid oils that are high in phenol content. So this is going to be, so let's just I'm going to go through some, you can write these down that we potentially want to avoid. Now remember, this doesn't mean that I never use these. I will use these in my patients if I feel like it's going to help them, and I advise people what dosage and how to use them. So when I say some of these, and if you're watching and you are one of my patients, you'll be like, oh my gosh, Dr. Katie, you told me to use that with my cat. Oh my gosh, now I'm going to kill them. No, I promise you there is a time and a place that we can safely use these. But when you're just starting out, general information, I want you to keep your pet safe. So that's why some of these you'll see, there can be kind of give and takes, but that's me as the holistic vet guiding you to what's best and most important and safest for your pet. So we do want to use essential oils that are going to be high in phenol content. So I tend to avoid using wintergreen. So wintergreen, dogs, cats can be really sensitive to wintergreen. Now it's a great anti-inflammatory for us, right? I used it on my knees before my run. My knees have been bothering me and it was fantastic. I didn't feel any pain. Like it was great. That's how amazing essential oils are. They infuse into the body and actually touch every cell within like the first 2 minutes of applying it topically. That's how powerful essential oils are. So the thing is, though, is that we want to make sure that we're using these appropriately for our pets. So with cats, with dogs, just go with this generalization. So high in phenol content, birch, wintergreen. We want to avoid hot oils too. So this is going to be more for topical application. So cinnamon, oregano, we want to be careful with rosemary, tea tree. So melaleuca can be very sensitive for pets, especially cats. Like I said, it doesn't mean that I don't use it. There are amazing uses for tea tree, and especially with allergies, skin infections, that we can use tea tree for. But this is like, if you're just getting started, these are the things that you want to avoid. Citrus oils, cats can be sensitive to that. Doesn't mean that I don't diffuse them, but avoid them if you're just getting started. So your lemon, your lime, orange, tangerine. The other ones would be like clove, fennel, people say peppermint. You just have to be careful, especially when we're talking about cats. Now, using essential oils in cats. Okay, cats are sensitive. This is why it's important that if you're just joining us live right now or catching the last part of this, we need to be using quality essential oils. So we need to slowly introduce these to the pets. Never do this. If you have a pet sitting next to you and you have an essential oil bottle, so this is peppermint, never do this. So like, I love it, right? But never take the unopened bottle and stick it in your pet's face. They're not going to like it. Like, their sense of smell is so strong. So then they're like, oh, whoa, like, get this away from me. It's too strong. So you can put a bottle like this with the cap on, put it by them, and they can sniff it if you'd like. I find that it's usually too strong for them though, because they're so sensitive. So that's why diffusing one drop in your diffuser in a big open room where they can come and go freely is a great way to introduce that. Now with cats, what's really cool is we can use their litter. So if you have an indoor cat, they have a litter tray, we can create a thing called litter aroma. So you can take one drop of, say, like lavender, one drop of cedarwood, lang lang. So these are great calming essential oils. So if you have a cat that's super stressed out right now with everything that's going on, take one drop of this, add it to a cup of baking soda. You can put in a tablespoon of Epsom salts. Also, mix it all up, let it sit for a few hours, and then you can actually pour that or sprinkle it into the litter and disperse it. So you're mixing it all up in the litter. So if you're doing the litter aroma, here's the thing, okay? Make sure you have a normal litter tray that does not have the essential oils in it, because I don't want you to come back and say, hey, Dr. Katie, my cat's peeing all over the house now because they didn't want to use that litter tray anymore. So offer different options. And the cool thing is some clients will have like different litter trays. So you can get crazy with this, right? So if you're like, my cat's really stressed, I want to use lavender. And then they're also itchy. So maybe I'm going to use some, you could use like frankincense or helichrysum, which is a great anti-inflammatory oil. Remember, we can use these oils for multiple things. So you have a pet with arthritis, you have a pet with skin disease. Helichrysum is fantastic, super safe, and it is a great, strong anti-inflammatory. So that can be used in a litter tray also. And then your cat's using the litter and they're absorbing it passively through their feet, through their paws, and they're also smelling it. But make sure you have a litter tray with nothing in it, because I don't want to put them off of it just in case they don't like that smell. But it's a great, safe way to introduce that for cats. So let's talk about some common conditions really quick that I saw a couple of people bring up in the comments on the live that we're doing right now. So first off, I'm going to touch on cats with asthma. There's a breathing issue, especially with cats. We do have to be really, really careful. So if your cat has asthma, make sure you're working with a veterinarian, someone that knows the essential oils, to ensure that you're using the right companies, so we feel safe about the essential oils that we're using, that we can safely diffuse around cats. Now, this is where I love Animal EO. So I actually have Kitty Boost. So with Animal EO, so this is different combinations of essential oils that are made by Dr. Melissa Shelton, who is a veterinarian, and this is all she does. And so this is a great one you can put in the litter tray. It also, you can use, it's already, there's different types that she has. So she has ones that are diluted already in like fractionated coconut oil, or you can get ones that you can apply what we call neat. So those are undiluted, which I don't recommend doing unless you're working with someone that knows about how to use these. So this is going to have a combination of frankincense, copaiba, so C-O-P-A-I-B-A. So this is this one here. This essential oil, incredible. If you have a pet with inflammation, combine it with helichrysum, frankincense, and myrrh, and you can use this on your dog. So 1 drop of each, 10 mils of fractionated coconut oil, and you can test it out first. This is for your dog to start with. You can always put these in a diffuser without the coconut oil. Don't put the actual like carrier oil in your diffuser because you'll just wreck it. But you can diffuse this combination first too. and see how your pet tolerates it. And then you can create this topical combination, and you can actually apply this. So you can pet. I love this. This is where you put essential oil in your palm, like 1 drop, coconut oil, rub, right? We're blending it together, and now I'm gently petting my pet. You can rub their ears. You can rub it on their paws if they don't go ballistic, if you're rubbing their paws. And this is a great way to actually apply topical essential oils to your pets. Now with Kitty Boost, I used to apply this to my previous cat, Taz, who was an older kitty, had kidney disease. He had severe arthritis. He had heart issues. It was just he was a hot mess of a cat, which is okay. That's why we took him in, to give him a loving life for a little bit of time. And I would apply this topically. So 1 drop, rub my hands, and then I would just pet him. And he liked it. And there's lots of great anti-inflammatory oils in this. And so that's what I love about using some of these blends when we can use them safely. One of the other blends that I like, so if you have an anxious cat, anxious dog, stress away from Young Living, this is a great product. So if you want to find any of these products, there is a link. If you're on Instagram watching this at the Natural Pet Doctor, you can actually go to the link. It'll be the essential oil link, and you can browse through. It'll be Young Living. You can also go to Animal EO and get these products, and you can start using them for your pets. Use them for yourself. I use them all the time. Everyone benefits in the house. So check that out. Now, with Stress Away, so it's a combination of different essential oils that I use for cats, I use for dogs. This is a great one to diffuse in the house. You can also, what's really cool, if you have a cat that needs to go to the vet, take a blanket, so you have a carrier, right? Take a blanket that's going to cover the carrier, apply 1 drop of this on the blanket, let it sit for a few hours so that it's not as strong. And then when you put your cat in the carrier, you can drape this over the carrier, and they're going to smell it. Now, try it out first to make sure your cat doesn't freak out from the smell, and they're doing fine and they tolerate it. So that's the thing. Try it out first. Diffuse it in the house. 1 drop of Stress Away in your diffuser, and it does amazing things. So that's where I just love essential oils, because there's so much that we can do. Now, one of the cool things, so if you want, I see people asking, like, what is the list of essential oils that I can download specific oils for dogs with inflammatory bowel disease? I'm actually creating a content piece that has all of this for you, and it's going to be released this next week. And if you want to get access to that, join our newsletter. Those people are going to get it first. Join our private Facebook group, the Natural Pet Tribe. That way you can get it. So join that. There's tons of free resources. And then that way you can have how to use essential oils safely in your pet. What essential oils can you use? Specific recipes for your gut health, for inflammation, for allergies, for ear infections, to help your pets that are itchy, foot baths, cancer. What essential oils can you use? I don't have frankincense with me, but frankincense is amazing for applying topically, diffusing. Copaiba, I use this one a lot for my dogs and my cats, and it's really safe. So let me help guide you. So go to thenaturalpetdoctor.com, get on our newsletter list, so that way we can help you. Okay, let me go through your questions for these last few minutes, but make sure you go there. Make sure you're following us, that you subscribe. Check out our private Facebook group, the Natural Pet the Natural Pet Tribe. And you can be there. It's a free group. I go live every Wednesday on different topics, different questions for people, but it's all about serving you. But I'm really excited about helping pet parents use essential oils safely, effectively, so you can reduce the amount of conventional medications that your pet may need, and you don't have the side effects. That's what I love about essential oils. We can use them for so many different things. So make sure you're on our newsletter. If you're not already on that, I know a lot of you here are already on that. Join the Natural Pet Tribe in our Facebook community, and keep an eye out, because I will be releasing that very, very shortly. Once I just love giving the things to you, and I want to make sure you have recipes for the common conditions and things that are coming up. So GI health, if your pet has diarrhea, what can you use? Allergies, itchy feet, getting rid of infection, arthritis, what can you use topically? What can you diffuse? What are the anxiety blends that you can use that will help you help yourself? So make sure you're on it because I'd love to see you. We release tons and tons and tons of content every single week. So make sure you subscribe. Check out our YouTube channel. We post videos 3 times a week. So I'd love to see you there. Subscribe, share with other pet parents. We have to get the message out that holistic medicine is an option for every single pet on this planet. That is my mission. I don't care if you use my services, as long as pet parents know that it's an option that we can integrate into conventional medicine, then my job is done here on earth. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. Next week, we're talking about kittens and bringing new kittens into your house, what you need to have, how you set it up, things to think about with these new little fur babies. If you just got a new puppy and you need help with that, check out last week's Coffee Talk with the doc. It's in our blogs at thenaturalpetdoctor.com. All right, everyone, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Dr. Katie Woodley.